Assalamu alaikum, que la paz de Allah esté con todos ustedes. Bienvenidos una vez más a America's Islamic Radio y este es tu programa Construyendo Puentes de Paz. Mi nombre es Vilma Javiva y esta tarde tenemos a un invitado súper especial y él es Kevin Shakil. Kevin, bienvenido
Thank you
a
so
esta
much.
su casa de
Gracias.
America's Islamic Radio. ¿Por qué tu nombre es Kevin y no es Ahmed o Mohammed o Isa? ¿Por qué tu nombre es Kevin? Cuéntanos.
Very simple. My mother's Hispanic. My mother's
From where?
Uruguay, and my dad's Pakistani. And a girl, right? So they had a nice, lovely name picked out, Layla. So my grandmother, who was in Uruguay, got sick. So my mom went to go visit her when she was pregnant. When she was 7 months pregnant, she was supposed to come back 8 months. Guess who came out early? Me. guess, guess who's not a girl? So my mom was, medicine dog. She just gave birth. She was sleeping. My grandmother goes, "Oh, mi bebe, this is my baby, this and that." So the doctor asked my grandmother, "What's his name? What should we name?" So, back then they never had cell phones like how we have today. There was no like WhatsApp or anything to call. So my grandmother was like, "Listen, I can't reach the father. So I like Kevin." So his name is Kevin.
So that was your grandmother?
My grandmother who named me Kevin.
Okay.
So then
From the mother side or the
my mom's
father
side, my grandmother, God rest her soul. And then when I came here when I was 2 months, my dad gave me a name Abdullah, but by legal documents say Kevin and everything, right? So the new immigrants in America, they had no idea how to change my name legally, so it stayed Kevin. Kevin Shakil. So up until like 9th, 10th grade, I was like, hey, I know how to change my name legally. But I'm like, do I really want to change my name legally when 14, 15 years of my life has been Kevin? This is who I am. Those who know me in the Muslim community know me as Abdullah. Everybody else knows me as Kevin. So doesn't really make a difference.
It's the same person,
Same thing,
right?
it's the same thing.
Person.
And the thing is that there's no real Islamic name. The thing is that if the name doesn't go against Islam, it's okay.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Correct, yeah.
So it's Kevin Shakil. That's my
Great,
name.
great.
That's the story behind my name, guys.
I always call him Kevin. Kevin, so your mother is a convert.
My mother is a convert. She converted to Islam when she met my dad. I don't know how he did it, but he did it. And my mom is a very strong Muslim.
Mashallah.
My upbringing was in a very conservative household. Very pray 5 times a day, fast in Ramadan. So funny story, because when I was 7 years old, that's the time you have to start fasting, right? So the incentive was, hey, if you keep all your fast for 30 days, right? I'm gonna give you $100 from my dad, and then I had other uncles as well. So it was a competition because we grew up in a tight household, like all family together in one house. So I had a cousin Akbar who was the same age as me, so we would have competition. Oh, I can keep more fast than you. I can keep more fast than you.
So that was.
So it was a incentive. It was a competition, and then the best part was we got money for Eid afterwards. So 100 from my dad, 100 from my uncle, 100 from my other uncle.
From
everybody, because And then the best part was, after you get your Eid money, you go to Toys R Us and buy a Game Boy.
Yes.
So that was
interesting.
Yeah.
My son was doing something very similar. So like our family is Christian, Catholic, and we have members of the family that are also, Jewish. So my son used to celebrate everything. When he was little, he used to get money from and gifts from everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's normal, when you grow up and you have different, people with different ideas and religions. So is for the kids is usually
exactly
that's
it's
what happens.
Beneficial.
It's
So
beneficial.
it's funny because like when I was growing up as well, right? So my mom's brother used to live in Pennsylvania, so we would go over there for Christmas.
You get
I
the
would get
gifts.
gifts and toys, and then my grandmother used to come when we were little, so the concept of religion didn't exist in the household.
Interesting. Kevin, I follow you on Facebook, and I see that you have two beautiful children,
Thank you.
mashallah, two
Thank you
beautiful
so much.
girls.
Thank you.
And I think your wife doesn't really look like she's from Pakistan. So where's your fried coat?
so
Tell us the story behind.
So my wife was my best friend back in high school.
Mhm.
She was actually dating one of my friends, and
She was
she was dating one of my friends, and didn't look like a good situation was going on there. So I mean, me and her became friends, and we remained friends, really really good friends. And then at one point, we were hanging out, and she stole my Quran. It's like that's a really weird thing to steal. Why would you steal my Quran, right? So we were really, really good friends, and then one day she comes to me, she goes, "Hey, I read the Quran twice. Every single question I had, it's answered right here." I was like, "Well, yeah. I mean, why wouldn't it be, right?"
For how long did she read the Quran? How long it took her to read the Quran?
2 months. So my wife is a bookworm. So
Wow.
you know how people like to go out to dinner or go to parties and everything. My wife's ideal day is if she finishes a book a day, she's content. So she's a bookworm. I don't get it. I can't look at a book for more than 5 minutes. So I'm like, okay, yeah, it makes sense. So she goes, listen, I think I want to become Muslim. I was like, what do you mean? And then my thing was like, where is this coming from? Like, yeah, I tell you about Islam here and there, but like it's weird. And then like, she would ask me a couple questions. I'm like, yeah, this is it. And she goes, I want to become Muslim. So well, it's very simple. Silly kalma. She said, what is it? So I explained that she became Muslim that day. And this is around October of 2014. And I'm like, hey, so this is my best friend who just converted to Islam. And I don't know, something like attracted me towards her. So I was going for Umrah for Thanksgiving break in November. And she kept coming to my head. I'm like, yo, what can I buy her as a gift? Because she said, no, so what can I buy her? What can I buy her? What can I buy her? And I'm like, hey, I think I'm starting to develop feelings for her. So I'm there with my
admiration,
dad.
maybe admiration, yes.
So I'm there with my dad and my brother, and I'm like, hey, I think this is a girl, and I think I maybe want to marry her. My dad's the typical Pakistani guy. It's like,
no.
We'll talk about it when we get back. You're too young, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no.
How old are you at that time when you were trying to...
23? 23? 22, 23, yeah, around that time. And my dad's like, you're crazy. You want to get married this young? And you don't even have a job. You haven't even finished school. Where are you even going with this? I'm like, well, she's my best friend, and I'm trying to get feelings for her. So I don't want to do anything haram. The fear of doing anything haram, I'm like, I don't want to do anything haram. And my dad goes, no, don't even think about it. I'm like, what do you mean no? So that's the American in me. What do you mean no? I'm going to do what I want to do. So I planned it out. I was going to propose to her 12, 13, 14 in Times Square with all her friends around, my friends around. And I planned everything out. And my dad knew, because my dad's hearing my conversations and everything. He's like, so you're really going through with this? Yeah. And at that time I was working for a law firm as a paralegal, not making $15, $16 an hour. So I went to the mall to buy her a ring. And I think I had like $110 in my pocket. So I bought a $110 ring from Case.
Nothing expensive.
Nothing expensive. I'm like, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. So I go home. I'm like, hey, Dad, look at this. He looks at it. And he goes, you're really going through with this? I'm like, yes. He goes, you sure? Because my parents just had gotten divorced a couple of years back. So my dad was on the fence, like, hey, I just went through this. You sure? Sensitive. I'm like, no, she brought love into my life. I'm like, this is the one. And he said, okay. So he jumps on the phone and calls one of his friends who's a jeweler. He's like, you're not gonna give her that. he gets a nice ring, he gives it to me, and then I proposed to her. And I was nervous. I was like, oh my God, what if she says no? It's gonna be embarrassing. Thank God, alhamdulillah, she said yes. And then we were together, so my dad's planning the wedding. Oh, we'll do it in June, July. A nice big party.
I have a question for you. This planning weddings, I heard many times that the parents, they plan the weddings for the kids.
Yes. That's the crazy part. So I didn't want that. So what I did was, I was not working Christmas Day. She was not working Christmas Day. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go get married on Christmas Day. We got engaged 12, 13, 14. Christmas is 12, 25. Couple of days. So I call my uncle. I'm like, hey, meet me at the mosque. We're going to go to the mosque. I called the mosque, I set it up, everything. Nobody had any idea. So my dad shows up at the mosque, my uncle showed up at the mosque, her mom didn't show because they were working, whatever. So me and Asia go, I'm like, Asia, we're gonna get married today. And my wife was like, okay. So we got nikah at the mosque, and that was it. No party, no nothing. Very simple. Because
And your father was upset at you?
No, my dad loved it.
No.
He loved the whole idea. He goes, you know what, this is good. This is a blessing. This is, a way that it's in the sunnah, right? The least expensive,
Simple.
simple is the best. The more blessings in it. Alhamdulillah, 5 years later, we're 5 years in a couple of days. 2 girls later.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful story.
Yeah.
So tell us, Kevin, what do you do for America's Islamic Radio?
Well, I'm one of the founders here.
Mhm.
This idea came about a year and a half ago. I actually came here looking for office space for my IT company. And I knew Luis and I knew Jorge from Empowering Young Professionals of Long Island. And Luis was actually building a studio here for El Vienna Radio. I was like, that's amazing. You know what? So maybe someday or sometime I can use this platform to do maybe like a couple Islamic shows or something, right? Just throwing ideas out there. And then I was like, yo, maybe I can start. I'm like, how much would it cost to start a radio station?
Mhm.
And Lou broke it down in a very simple, methodical way. I was like, that's very affordable. Why isn't there any Islamic radio stations in America? So I did my research and I couldn't understand why there wasn't. And then I figured out why there wasn't. So when I reached out to prominent members of the community who were Muslim, right? Hey, I had this idea. They're doing this in the studio. We'll have a space. Do you want to do something with me? No. Why not? That's not good. You're gonna be watched. You're gonna get death threats. It's not a good time to do an Islamic radio station. Or do the mock ticket.
The fears.
The fears, right?
behind, yeah.
And it hit me. I'm like, why are we so fearful? Why isn't there more of these already, right? And I told Lou, I was like, Lou, there's this. I mean, I reached out to people and they said this. And he goes, Kevin, do you really want to do this? I'm like, yeah, I really do. I really want to do this. He goes, I'll support you.
Luis is great.
And I was
Luis is
like,
great, yes.
okay, you're gonna support me, but we had this so much going on. And then Jorge goes, I'll support you too, bro. If you want to do this, let's do it.
Amazing,
And
right?
alhamdulillah, right? A year and a half later, here we are.
Yes. Thank God. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah. Luis is an amazing person. One day we're going to invite him here. And he has a very, very interesting story to tell us
Yeah.
also. He's a great man.
A wonderful
May
person.
Allah bless him
Alhamdulillah.
all
Bless him
the
always.
time. Yes, always.
A wonderful
Him
human
and his
being.
family.
One of the best
Yes.
best people I've met in my entire life. I'll tell you
Yes.
that today.
Yes,
He
very
does
smart.
everything from the heart.
Yes, alhamdulillah. So tell us, Kevin, what is your vision behind America's Islamic Radio?
My vision behind this is there's a fear, right? So Muslims have fear of, oh, they're gonna look at us and it's gonna be bad, and you know what I mean. It's like, no.
Why is that?
I don't know. I honestly have no idea, right? So my thing is that I'm like, the only rhetoric people get in America about Islam is on the media, right?
Mhm.
It's always pertaining to negative feedback, negative comments. And I'm just like, Muslims do wonderful things every day. We're a very peaceful religion. We're very peaceful people, and we do great, wonderful things. So why don't we start highlighting these people and showing Muslims and non-Muslims like that? Hey, there's a lot of wonderful people here, Muslims and non-Muslims, and they're doing wonderful things on a daily basis. They're doing
in our community.
They're doing great things, and there's a fear of people, like, if you see a girl walking down with a hijab, you're thinking she's oppressed.
Don't you think it's fear about what we don't know, when people don't know
Yes,
about,
yes. Yes.
you know,
So
like
the thing is
the
that
religion or culture, or if it's mixed, when people don't know, they don't have the right information, that's what the fears.
exactly. So the thing is that's what we're doing now. We're here. We're showing you guys on a daily basis what Muslims look like regular people like me and you, and we come in every single age, different colors, different backgrounds. I mean, you're Puerto Rican.
Yes, I am 100% white.
You know what I mean? And people would not think that. You know what I mean? People, when they think about Muslims, they think of, South Asians and Middle Eastern people, right?
Yeah.
But they don't think that. Listen, I'm Pakistani, but I'm also Hispanic.
Yeah. When
You know
I
what I
speak
mean?
Spanish, everybody says, how did you learn Spanish
¿Cómo puedes
so
hablar
well?
español?
¿Cómo tú
¿Cómo puedes
hablas
hablar
español?
español?
Yo, porque yo soy puertorriqueña.
and you look at you like, what?
What?
Yeah.
Oh, ok. Tú naciste en Puerto Rico. No.
No.
Yo soy de padres puertorriqueños.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sí.
I mean, Mikael, who does Quran tafsir here
Yeah,
every week,
yeah.
he's 100% Puerto Rican. He's a New Yorican.
New Yorican, yeah. We would love to have him as well here one day.
We'll definitely set it up. We'll definitely set it up. I would love to hear his story.
Yeah.
Mikael, you gotta come here.
Yes. Ven, Mikael, ven. Yeah, qué interesante. You speak Spanish or not?
Poquito, yo puedo entender todo, pero para hablar poquito difícil. Meaning, I understand everything, but the talk is a little bit difficult for me.
Okay. So, Kevin, ¿cuáles, si te damos la oportunidad para que te expreses y digas algunas palabras, algo que tú sientas que nuestra comunidad debe recalcarse en nuestra comunidad, ¿cuál sería tu mensaje para nuestra comunidad en general, no tan solo para la comunidad hispana musulmana o para la comunidad hispana en general, no tan solo para la musulmana?
So basically, for the Hispanic Muslims community, right? What I want to say is very straightforward. Don't feel alone. We're here. We're all one community. We're all Muslim. The thing is that we're together. So if somebody's telling you that you're a second-class Muslim, don't even think about that. We're all one. We're all equal in front of the eyes of God. And if you're going through a struggle in today's age and right now about conflicting of my Hispanic side or my Muslim side, you don't have to choose. They both intertwine together. You can be Muslim and you can be Spanish. Doesn't make a difference.
Yeah. Thank you so much. How about for the Hispanic community in
The
general?
Hispanic community in general, like let's say you have somebody who's thinking about Islam, don't fear Islam. What you're seeing in the media is not true. Watch American Islamic Radio and you'll see wonderful people here every day and they have wonderful stories to tell. I mean, I'm a living proof of a story right here. My wife is Dominican, who's a convert to Islam, and yes, her family, had issues in the beginning with that, right? Like they didn't like me.
What do you say?
You can't say anything, right? But then after when we had kids, they love my daughters.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yeah, they're Muslim. And then it clicks. Like, oh, yeah, so if my grandkids are Muslim, they're not bad. My nietos.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's, don't fear Muslims. That's the thing. That's my message.
Thank you so much, Kevin.
No problem.
Thank you for being here in
Absolutely.
this one, tu casa.
Es mi casa.
¿Qué es tu casa? Construyendo puentes de casa. Construyendo puentes de paz para todos ustedes de aquí desde America's Islamic Radio. Kevin Shakil, Vilma Habiba. No te pierdas el próximo sábado a las 7 de la noche Construyendo Puentes de Paz. Muy buenas noches y que la paz de Allah esté con todos ustedes. Gracias, Kevin.
Gracias, bro.
Bye bye.